Hi, my name is Anna, and I'm an affiliate with River's Edge. And I will be guiding you through a gentle yoga class to help you with stimulating the lymphatic system, and also a self massage for the face to help stimulate the lymphatic system to help with issues such as sinus congestion, allergies, and even mask fatigue. You can go ahead and come to a comfortable place. And please bring anything that makes your yoga practice more comfortable for you. If you have blocks at home, if you would like to have a chair nearby, as we will be doing a few standing for balance, you can have that as well, or cushions or pillows. Just make this your own practice, listen to your body, and I will show some modifications, but know that you can always do what feels best for you. So you can start either lying down in Shavasana or you can start in a seated position. I'm going to keep myself seated just so I can talk you through this. And give yourself a few moments and settle in. And then if you are lying down or seated, go ahead and gently either close your eyes or keep them almost all the way closed with maybe just a little sliver showing. And just take a moment to just assess how you feel right now without judging it, just seeing how you showed up. And then slowly begin to deepen your breath. Breathing in through the nose. Feel your chest expand. Feel your belly expand. And then allow the breath to come out really slowly. And inhaling again. Even those sides, your ribs are going to expand. You can hold it for a second at the top. And then allow the breath to come out slowly, either out through the mouth, or if you're familiar with an Ujjayi breath, you can let the breath release out through the nose. We're going to take a few more breaths here, just concentrating on that, the breath, allowing our mind to just have that one point of focus. And we'll take one more breath again, breathing in and filling up. But this time, open up the mouth and let everything go. If you are lying down, go ahead and roll over to your side and take a moment. And then use your hands and gently guide yourself up into an easy sitting pose. We'll take our arms up, breathing in, coming into prayer. And then as we exhale, we'll bring our hands right to our heart, setting an intention for our class. Since this is a lymphatic class, our water element here will be our sacral chakra. So maybe seeing the color orange if you want a color to focus on. And let's breathe in again, bring our arms up. And then as we exhale, we're going to do a very gentle twist with our right arm to the back and our left hand onto the left knee. And breathe in and find your tall spine. And then exhale, very gently rotating. One more breath here. And then we'll inhale, rise our arms back up. And then exhale, we're going to move over to the opposite side, left hand down, right hand onto right knee. If you have blocks or a book, you can always place that left hand on there to make it a little bit closer for you. Inhale again. And exhale, rotate. And one more breath. And we'll breathe in, bringing our arms back up. And then let's exhale and bring our hands right back to our heart. Those spinal twists, they help us kind of wring out our internal organs where we have all these lymph nodes that run up and down. We're going to bring our right hand down to the ground. Let's bring our left arm up and bring it over to the other side. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, we're going to gently bring that left ear to the left shoulder. Breathe in again. And then exhale, even gently reaching out with those right fingertips. And we'll breathe in and bring our head up. Exhale that left hand down. I'm going to switch sides. So the right arm comes up on the inhale over to the left side. Exhale, right ear to right shoulder. And stay for 2 breaths. So by opening up our neck here, this is the area where we have a concentration of lymph nodes, our heart, and our thymus gland. And we'll breathe in back into center. And then exhale that hand down. Your hands can stay as they are, or you can place them onto your knees. We're going to come into some gentle neck rotations. So taking our chin down to our chest, keeping our spine straight. On the exhale, we're just going to gently roll our ear towards our right shoulder, coming to the back and coming back to the front. And we'll do 3 on each side. You can take a breath in and then let the breath out as you come and roll to the left side. One more time. Just kind of welcome any noises or cracks, it's just space being created. And then switching sides, we'll breathe in, rotating to the left. And exhaling towards the right. And just go ahead and go on your own breath at your own pace. Just knowing that my breath cues are just that, just cues. And one more time. And then we will bring our chin back to the chest. We'll breathe in and lift up our head. We'll exhale, roll our shoulder blades down. And from here, we'll do a couple of seated cat-cows. So breathing in, we're going to open up our chest, bring our hands back towards our hip, maybe even extend our head back. And then as we exhale, we're rounding that mid-back and our belly is coming back into the spine. Your hands can come maybe towards your shins. We'll do 2 more of those. Breathe in. Letting that neck open up, that throat. And then exhale, round. And 1 more breath. And we'll come all the way back up to our tall spine. We're going to make our way onto all fours, tabletop position. So you can go ahead and make this comfortable for you by maybe finding a pillow or rolling your mat under if you're having any knee issues. We're going to keep our wrist and our shoulders in line and our knees and our hips. And coming into the cat-cow in all fours is allowing our hips to expand, just getting even more of our lymph node engagement. So as we breathe in, we're going to roll our shoulder blades back and look up, slightly arching the low back. And then as we exhale, we're going to round the mid-back, gently push our hands away from the floor And bring that low belly into the spine. And go ahead and find 2 more on your own breath. Again, this flexion and extension of the spine is just another way for us to stimulate all those lymph nodes that run up and down our spine, especially when we use our breath. 1 more. Opening up the collarbone as you look up. And rounding in as you come down. Coming back into your tabletop. Roll the shoulder blades, lift that belly. We're going to inhale, lift up our right hand. And as you exhale, you can stay here. Or another way to do this would be to extend out the left leg to come into a full balance. You can keep that leg extended. You can even bring those toes down if you wish. Or you can have the knee right along the right knee. We'll stay here for a breath. And you can continue to stay as you are, or on your next exhale, you can bring that elbow and knee in. Inhale as you extend. And then exhale as you come in. And breathe in, extend long. And we'll exhale the right hand down, the left knee down, and we'll find 1 cat-cow here. Breathe in. And then exhale out. Coming into your tabletop again. Inhale the left arm up. And the exhale, stay here, or option to extend that right leg. Toes can be on the floor or they can be lifted up. Kind of focusing on that sacral area, that area right under your belly button, pulling it in. Stay here or bring the elbow and knee in together on your exhale. As you breathe in, you expand. And as you exhale, you bring it in. Inhale out. And then exhale that left hand down, the right knee down. Find 1 cat-cow again. Inhaling. And the exhale, rounding. And come right back to your tabletop. And from here, we'll make our way into a child's pose. So you can either shift your weight right back onto your heels. You can bring your knees a little wider and bring your big toes together and come back. You can always put a blanket under your knees. If you have blocks, as you sink in, you can allow one to come right onto your forehead as well. And just stay with your breath. Almost imagining it's beginning at the top of your head and then coming all the way down your spine, hugging into your hips. As we inhale, we're going to slowly come back up. And we're going to make our way into a downward facing dog. Now, some people, downward facing dog is not the most comfortable for them, especially on their shoulders. So there's many options that we can come into. You can come into more of a puppy pose. You can stay in your child's pose. Or you can just walk up to the front of your mat, because that's where we're going to make our way to. But if you wish to come into your downward facing dog, we're going to roll our shoulder blades back. And then using the exhale, you're going to imagine that those heels are coming down, but know that they're not required to. What's most important here is we want a straight spine. So if you need to put a little bend in your knees to make that spine straight, please do so. These inversions are great for lymphatic return as we bring our head down. 1 more breath. And we'll breathe in, lift your heels. And then exhale, just gently walk your way to the front of the mat. Again, coming into a forward fold. If you have your blocks, you can use those. Your hands don't have to come down and meet. Your forward fold can look what it looks for you. As we breathe in, lift halfway, rolling our shoulder blades, lifting the belly. And then there's an option here where we can actually bring our hands into our belly as we fold back in, maybe massaging the belly, those internal organs. Rolling the shoulder blades back, letting the head be heavy. And we'll inhale, lift again halfway. You can relax the arms and exhale, fold back down. We'll breathe in, push through the feet and come all the way up. Rising our arms up. And then exhale, option for a little extension back. Breathe in, back to center. And then as we exhale, we're going to move towards the right. Gently pushing through that left foot, opening up the left side. Breathe in to center. Exhale, opposite side. Breathe in, center again. And then exhale, let's bring our hands right to our heart again. Roll the shoulder blades, maybe even close the eyes off. And here you can come into an intention, a mantra. I am free and flowing is the one that is coming to me. So we'll take a wide step with our right leg coming out. We're going to bring our toes slightly in, coming into a forward fold. So if you do have a chair, even if you know you can't make it all the way to the ground, you can place that chair closer. If you have blocks or books, anything to make the floor a little bit closer to you. We'll breathe in our arms up and then exhale them down. And then the option to interlace your fingers here, pushing your shoulder blades back, opening your chest. And then exhale, we're going to tip at our hips, coming down. You can come right here. This may be where you're at. Or maybe you can come down a little further. If you can let that head make its way down. Imagining that your tailbone is beginning to point up towards the ceiling. Rolling the shoulders back. We'll stay and breathe. And then you can gently release the bind. If your hands are on the mat or if they're on the chair, we're going to keep our right hand onto the mat. And then we're going to breathe in the left arm up. You can always put a little bend in that right knee. Want to roll that right shoulder back. Maybe gaze up at the hand. And we'll breathe in again. And then exhale, the left hand's going to come down. As you breathe in, our right arm's going to come up. Maybe bend that left knee. Rotating and twisting again. Doing that internal cleanse. Breathing in. And we'll exhale the hand down. We're going to turn our left foot towards the front of the mat. Walk our hands up. Bring our right foot to meet. And come right back into a forward fold. We'll breathe in, lift halfway. Roll the shoulder blades back. Find the lift in the belly. Then exhale back down. I'm going to place our hands on the mat. We'll step back. We're going to drop our knees. And we're actually going to come all the way down onto our bellies. Taking your time to get there. Placing our hands under our shoulders. Just going to come into a gentle cobra. So roll the shoulder blades back. As you breathe in, you're going to push your hips and the tops of your feet and lift up your chest and your head. And then exhale. And breathe in again. And then exhale back down. And we're going to breathe in, push our hands up back into our tabletop. And just make our way back into a child's pose for a few breaths. And just again, imagine every breath is allowing for some release of tension. And where can you send your exhale? And let it release in places that you don't need to hold on to anymore. And then on our inhale, let's walk our hands up. We're going to make our way onto our seat. We're extending our legs long here. So coming into a staff pose for a moment, you're going to find your sit bones. You're going to place your hands right by your shoulders, roll the shoulder blades back. The toes are pointed to the sky, belly is lifted, and then just tuck the chin back slightly. And from here, we'll inhale our arms up. And then as we exhale, we're going to find that forward fold again, tipping forward from the hips and allowing our heart to lead us down. And again, your hands do not have to make it anywhere in particular. They can be up here, they can be on the floor. The most important part here is when we breathe in and lift is we're allowing our chest to expand. And when we're coming back down, we're letting our chest lead us, not rounding at the shoulders. And we'll take one more breath. And then we'll breathe in and come up. And then exhale, let's place our hands maybe about a foot behind. Roll the shoulder blades, point the toes. And then your next exhale, we're going to expand back by opening up our chest, maybe even just dropping the head back slightly. Now you can stay just as you are, or you can breathe in and lift the hips up as well. If it feels comfortable, you can even drop the head. Just take note if you have any vertigo that this might make it worse. So just come into the pose that works for you. And then your next exhale, if you're up, we're going to slowly come back down. And we're going to come all the way down onto our side and make our way onto our backs. Let's place our feet on the mat. Let's exhale, let's press our low back into the mat. We're going to come into the gentle bridge next. So maybe bring those heels a little bit closer, maybe the hands down a little farther. As you breathe in, we're going to push our feet gently into the mat and lift up the hips. And again, if you have a block at home, you can always place that under here and make this more restorative. And staying for a couple of breaths. Remembering as we exhale to lift that belly and contract the glutes slightly. One more. And breathe in again. And then exhale, slowly let the hips come down. And then we'll bring one knee at a time into our chest. And then you can stay in stillness here with your knees into your chest, or you can find a little rocking motion. Just allowing the breath to be just as long as it was when we started. And then let's keep our knees close to us. Let's bring our arms on the ground, coming into a T cactus position. On our next exhale, we're going to do a spinal twist to the right, both knees. And again, this is a great place to put a pillow or a block if your knees just don't want to come all the way back down to the mat. And breathe in. And then option to turn the head to the left shoulder. We'll stay here for one more breath. We'll breathe in and bring the knees to center. And the next exhale, dropping the knees to the other side with that option to turn the head to the other side. And breathe in. And exhale, send the breath all the way down the spine, into the hips, the thighs, and maybe even out the feet. And let's breathe it in again. Bring the knees back into center. And as you exhale, bring your hands onto the shins or even onto the inside thighs. Take a breath in. And then exhale, just lift up the head. Stay as you breathe in. And exhale the head down. And from here, we're going to come into legs up the wall. So this is another great lymphatic pose, especially for the legs. We've been on your legs all day. This is a great one to do before bed. Try to just get that flow back. You can always use a wall for this as well. You can put your knees or put your calves on a chair and make it more supportive. We're going to push that low back into the mat and lift the belly. And we'll stay for 3 breaths. And then on your exhale, let's bend the knees and come into a happy baby. Your hands can come anywhere onto your calves. Maybe you can hold on to your big toe with your peace fingers. What you really want to do is make sure that that whole spine is connected to the floor. You can find a sway, or you can just stay in stillness as you imagine your knees making their way closer to the floor. And we'll stay for 2 more breaths. Maybe even imagining that you're releasing the tension in the shoulders and in the neck. The mantra of I am able to flow with the change of life. And we'll bring our knees back in. And exhale, let's bring both of the feet back onto the mat. We're going to do one more gentle bridge. Inhale, lifting up the hips. Exhale, lifting the belly inward. Finding space in the neck. And then as you exhale, let your hips come down, and we'll find our way into our final rest. And your final rest can look like a traditional Shavasana with your palms facing up. You can come onto your side in fetal position, whatever is most comfortable for you. I'm going to just sit up, but you stay wherever you would like. Take a few more moments to settle in. And then take one last breath. Breathe in and fill up as much as you can. And exhale, let it all go. Let the eyes shut off. Let your breath become into a more natural state. And you can have your concentration either on that sacral chakra with that orange color below the belly, or maybe into your third eye area, your intuition, that space in between the middle of your forehead. Let the jaw relax. Let your natural exhales roll down your shoulders and release the tension all the way into your arms and out of your hands. Release the tension in your chest and allow your belly to become soft. Let your glutes relax, your thighs, all the tension out of the calves, the feet, and even the toes. And just take these few last minutes to do nothing but rest. And know that your breath is there for you if your mind begins to drift. You're welcome to stay in this Shavasana for as long as you need. There's said that a true final rest really needs to be almost up to 10 minutes. So maybe give yourself that time. But if you are ready to come up, slowly begin to find a little bit of movement in your fingers and in your toes. And keep your eyes closed. But maybe gently rock your head to side to side. And then allow yourself to come to your favorite side in fetal position. And take a moment there to do only that. Take the moment. Absorb it. Keep it with you. And then use your hands and come up into an easy sitting pose. And finding your tall spine. We'll take a breath. Breathe in. And exhale out. So I always end all of my classes with an Om. You're more than welcome to join me. We'll breathe in, bring our arms up. And exhale, bring the hands to your heart center. Taking a breath in. Om. The Om, the universal sound that connects us. Thank you so much for joining me. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste. So I'm going to talk about how to perform a manual lymphatic drainage for the face. This is a very gentle massage that can be used for things such as allergies, sinus congestion, and mask fatigue. So we'll start with the most important thing, which is our breath. Like I talked in our yoga class, we have over 300 lymph nodes that run up and down our spine. And the best way to access those, besides movement, is by using our breath. So if you want, you can place a hand on your belly and a hand on your heart or your chest area. And we're going to breathe in. You can close the eyes off if that makes it easier. As you breathe in and inhale, you're going to feel your belly and your chest begin to expand. And then you're going to let the breath go out really slowly. And if you're a yogi, you can do an ujjayi breath, or you can just let the breath out through the mouth. So let's do 2 more of those. Inhale. As we inhale, we always expand. We let that belly get nice and big. We let our chest and our ribs expand. And then we let it go, letting the belly come in back to the spine. And 1 more breath. And so these deep breaths are not just good for the lymphatic system, but they help our heart rate go down, or blood pressure go down, and kind of get us into that relaxation state. So that's the breath that you want to do as you're performing this massage as well. And the next area that we're going to concentrate on is right in here, right by our clavicular notch, the little area where our clavicles meet. We're going to stimulate these lymph nodes here. We have our thymus and our heart, all the return is here. So we always start with this area and we always end with this area. So you can use your finger pads. You're going to come in and just kind of like a semi-firm pressure. You can do little circles. Some people can feel their lymph nodes, some cannot. But you're just going to do little circles and massage. You can spend up as much time as you want. Do 30 seconds, a minute. And this is just kind of waking up the lymph nodes. So when we do begin to push the fluid here, that they're ready to do their job. And after that, we're going to start doing some strokes right along the clavicle. So there's a lot of different hand placements that you can use. You can do the cross one over, where you kind of come up here and you're going to bring the stretch down to the lymph nodes. So the key component here is stretch. So we want to make sure that our stretch is just that. We're not getting into the muscle. We're just stretching the skin. And the rhythm is important as well. So I like to hold for a count of 1, 2, 3, and let go. And you can concentrate on this for a long time, maybe 3 to 5 times is good too. And then after the clavicle area, we're going to work our way into the neck. So we want to come first back into this area, this occipital area, and massage those lymph nodes back here, using that semi-firm pressure. And then with this one, we can do kind of like a big sweeping motion. So you can take your hands, and again, we're always going to stretch this towards these lymph nodes, and you can bring it down and in. And by using the whole hand, you can get that back of the neck, and you can even get like your SEM here as you come down. And it's very gentle again. You don't really want this to be a deep pressure. You can do as many as you like. And a lot of times it's good to concentrate after you get this area. It's good to concentrate on the SEM since we have a lot of nodes here. And you can even spend some extra time pulling and stretching down towards the nodes here. And then we're going to come back to the clavicle area. You can do either the cross one, or you can come with your hands here, depending what feels better to you. We're going to bring that stretch again towards the lymph nodes. So we're always working towards the lymph nodes. All of our work is in that direction. So as long as you are going towards the lymph nodes, you're being light and gentle, and you're having some kind of rhythmic action, you're doing it right. So after opening up the neck, we're going to start to work our way through the face. And we have lymph nodes all along our jaw, all along the side of our head, and even into the forehead area. So you can start by taking your fingertips and going underneath your chin. Again, spending as much time as you wish here to kind of open up those lymph nodes. And then we're going again to do that gentle stretching towards the nodes. So you can use a full hand, you can use little fingertips, but what you want to do is just begin to stretch the skin in the direction of the nodes and begin to like work your way up towards like your nostril area, your upper lip area. And then you're going to come all the way back down. I'm going a little faster than I would be doing it normally on myself or on a client, just to give you an idea of how this works. You can spend as much time as you need, especially in this area when we are wearing our masks. And then we come back down to the lymph nodes. We're going to go in here and massage those. And then we're going to work our way back up towards the ear. Massage those lymph nodes here. That semi-firm pressure. And then we are going to take our hand and gently move that stretching stroke towards those lymph nodes. And when I do this, I usually do 3 times on each hand placement. And then move my way into this maxillary sinus here. And this is probably, if you have sinus congestion, is going to be the main issue. So you can spend minutes, we can maybe spend an hour in this area depending on your sinuses. But we're just giving that gentle stretch. You can even come up into the bridge of your nose and stretch it through. And then again, you just work your way back down. Same stretch towards those lymph nodes. And then come back in and give that gentle pressure. And we'll work our way up to our frontal sinus, massaging the lymph nodes along the side here. And it's the same thing. So hand placement can be like this. You can bring your hands more towards this way. All depends on how your shoulders are feeling. We're going to do those gentle strokes. Just enough to stretch the skin and doing our deep breathing as we do this. Our frontal sinus is another place that has a lot of congestion. You can do those counts of 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to move our way back. And again, this can be an easy half-hour, even longer massage. You can take as much time as you need in those congested areas. Working our way back. And then coming in and stimulating again. If you wanted to, you can come back and do this maxillary sinus and come into your chin. Now we're going to end up with closing with our neck. So coming underneath here, let's stimulate those nodes right at the edge of our skull where our neck meets. And then bringing our hands together, maybe even wrapping them around and doing that gentle stroke down the side of the neck. Maybe even taking that extra time to come into the SEM with that really gentle stroke. If you have a lot of congestion and maybe the congestion's hard, you might have to use a little more pressure, but it should just be enough for a stretch. So some counterindications for this would be if you have an active infection. If you're on antibiotics, after 3 days, you can go ahead and proceed with it. If it's a viral infection, after a few days after your fever is broke without any medication, you can go ahead and proceed with it. If you are a cancer patient, after your first 6 weeks of chemo is a good time that you can start any kind of lymphatic drainage. If you've had any lymph nodes removed, we're going to come around the side. And your sequence is going to be a little bit different because you're going to be draining to the nodes that were not compromised. If there's radiation, we're going to wait for that skin to heal. Coming along the clavicle again here. And then again, ending it right here with these lymph nodes that are conflicting notch, doing that pressure and stimulating those. Of course, with mask fatigue, one of the things that we can do is maybe finding different options as to where we are going to wear our mask. Sometimes the tie options is better than pulling on the ears. Another option for mask fatigue, which is not really lymphatic, it's more of a cranial sacral technique. It's kind of doing the opposite direction of what's happening to your ears. So you can take your thumbs, and it kind of feels a little silly. It's actually even a yoga mudra. But you're going to bring them, not really the inside of your ear, but like the inner outer part here. And you can begin to gently pull it back. You can even use your fingers along the edge and pull them back this way. So it's just kind of doing the reverse of what the mask is doing. And if there's acne issues because of the mask fatigue, making sure you're not wearing your makeup, and anything that you are using for cosmetic stuff, I would stay away from anything that is, or I would say would go to more things that are non-toxic or toxic free. Really look into your ingredients and what is on your skin. Thank you for taking the time to take care of yourself. And I really hope that maybe you could take something back with you that will help you improve your self-care. And our contact information will be ready for you, available for you. And I hope you have a great day. And thanks for watching. Namaste.